What's good, everybody? I'm the coming attraction and welcome back to the channel. Now today, guys, we're going to be playing some Call of Duty, but we're going to be starting a new series called COD Convictions, where basically I'm playing a game of Call of Duty and in the background I'm just talking about some life stuff, man. Some things that I think that are important and that I wish I would have known when I was younger, and some things that I've learned so far through my life that I think can really help a lot of you guys out. But yeah, man, so basically how this is going to work is I'm going to put it out like once or twice a week, just however often I feel like it, man. Whenever something's on my heart that I really feel like I need to share with you guys, or that I feel like would be valuable for you guys to know. Basically today, episode 1 is going to be called Perspective. We're just talking about how you should look at life and through a certain light and through a certain lens. Some stuff that I wish I would have known whenever I was growing up. And I'm sure a lot of your guys' age, you know, watching video games, playing stuff, but life can get tough. I know that doesn't matter how old you are. But yeah, hopefully I can teach you guys some stuff. And this is going to be a little bit of a different switch up from the Madden videos that you guys like so much. But trust me, we're not going away from Madden. This is just going to be something else that we're doing as the channel grows and expands. And guys, with this series, I promise I'm not trying to lecture you guys, man. I'm just coming from you from a perspective where I know what you guys have been through. I mean, I was a kid once too. I'm still a kid. I'm 20 years old, you know, just trying to figure this life thing out. And I know it can get messy sometimes, but basically with perspective today, I'm just trying to show you how you should look at it and understand that while your problems may be real and they may be big, they're all relative at the same time. So the situation you're in right now may not be the situation you're in a year from now, and it's just nice to be able to keep that big picture perspective when it comes to looking at the problems in your life, to just enjoy it all, man, the good and the bad, man. You got to roll with it. So yeah, guys, let's get into it, man, and what I mean by perspective. And I think before I start diving into about what perspective means to me and what it should mean to you, I think I should give you the dictionary definition just so we're not all confused and we're on the same page here. Basically, perspective means a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something, a point of view. I think the most important word in that definition of perspective is the word attitude, because that's the only thing we can control. I don't know how many of you guys play sports, but I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, play sports at some times. And a lot of my coaches told me the only thing you can control is your attitude and your effort. And while that does sound extremely cheesy, bro, and I get it, I promise in life, it's so freaking true though. Now, while in sports context, they may be talking about, oh, you miss a jump shot, dribble off your foot, don't catch a pass if you're playing football, man. You know, you can only control your attitude, how you go towards the next play. But the fact of the matter is, man, that's life too, bro. You're going to have situations in your life that don't go your way. We're all going to have problems. We're all going to have stuff, but it's all about your attitude and how you can bounce back from that and be resilient. And when it comes to resiliency, man, I mean, it sounds kind of obvious, but being resilient means there's a problem. You don't need to be resilient whenever something's going good, because then everything's great. You don't have anything to worry about. And the thing about problems is, guys, is we all got them. I don't even say that to be funny. I mean, it's just life, man. It's going to throw you curveballs sometimes. You're going to have a lot of problems. And a lot of people are going to try and tell you that your problems don't matter, or that they're not real, or that they're not big enough. Those people are idiots. Don't freaking listen to them. All your problems are real. All your problems are relative. But it's up to you. It's up to you on how you perceive and the perspective you have of your problems. And that's going to be how you can dig yourself out of a hole and see your life in a better light. Now, before we go putting all of our problems in perspective, man, let's start at the base level and put our life in perspective and understand how fortunate we are here, because that's going to make it way easier for you to put your problems in perspective. I promise. Here's some stats, bro. There's 7.8 billion people in the world. You're one of those 7.8 billion. That is 0.0000000001282% of the population on Earth. That's 9 zeros. To go along with that small number, I got an even smaller number for you. The odds of you being born are 4 trillion to 1. 4 trillion to 1. That's unbelievable. I mean, you have a better chance of winning the lottery 1 billion times in your life than being born. And that's how you got to start looking at life, man. You got to start looking at it as a fortunate, lucky opportunity, guys. I mean, you're lucky to even be able to have the problems that you have, much less like drown in the problems. You're lucky to even have them. And I don't say any of this stuff to make you guys feel less or feel little, even though I could understand how that would happen. I'm just trying to get you guys to realize the value of the opportunity and how exciting it is that we're on Earth here and have the ability to create our own lives, man, even with the problems. I didn't always look at it this way, though, so I can understand how you guys wouldn't, and I got a story that I can tell you that kind of flipped the switch for me, and I'm hoping does the same for you. And yeah, man, this was super recent. By super recent, I mean like probably a few months ago, and this was for sure the lowest point in my life. My girlfriend of 7 years had just broken up with me out of the blue. I had been getting injured a lot in basketball and just lost the love for it, so I ended up quitting. Dropped out of college. Basically, I had a full ride to go play college basketball somewhere, but I ended up turning it down because I quit. Basically, the perspective I was seeing is that my life was ruined. I had no love, no excitement, no plans, no goals, no nothing. I was done. But the funny thing about life is, man, when you think you're done, you're really just getting started. And for example, after I had lost my girlfriend, quit basketball, dropped out of school, basically, I started working the overnight shift at a hotel where I would work from 11 at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. And when I tell you guys that I didn't see anyone, I mean that I saw nobody. Like, no one checked in, none of that. The only people that I would see were homeless people that would come in because it was cold or something, or they just wanted to get a cup of coffee or just talk. But man, when I tell you that one of these homeless people changed my life, I mean that he changed my life forever. And I wish I could reach out to him so he could know how much he changed my life. But basically, this is while I was still training. This was in the beginning part of my job when I was for sure at the lowest point. Like, I was fresh off all of that stuff. But basically, he comes in one night. I mean, he just looks rough, dude. Like, ripped up coat, ripped up jeans, like cigarette stained fingernails, like just what you would picture a gross homeless man looking like. That's what he looked like. But basically, he comes up to the front desk to me and my manager, and he's got like kind of a stutter. So he's like, hey, excuse me, can you guys give me a job application? I would really be looking for a job. So basically, he was looking for a job, like a homeless man looking for a job. That's probably not going to work out right. Just to be nice though, my manager gave him a job application, even though he had no chance of getting the job. And while he was filling out the job application, we asked him his name, and his name was Lucky. Like, literally, we saw on his ID card, like, his name was Lucky. And you guys are going to think I'm making this up, man, but when we started to find a little more out about him, it turns out he was a gambler, and that's how he became homeless. He lost his house, car, family, job. He lost $40,000 in cash due to gambling. I mean, that's just crazy. Like, how ironic that a dude named Lucky was a gambler and he was not lucky. But this next part is where he really changed my life. As he was filling out the job application, he says to us, man, thank you guys so much for letting me fill this out. Just even the opportunity makes all the nights that I've spent in the rain feel worth it. And for me, that's when the proverbial switch flipped. Now, keep in mind, this dude is homeless, like, doesn't have a place to go. So when he says he was spending nights in the rain, he was literally sleeping in the rain. And that was so humbling for me, because there I was thinking my problems were big, because my girlfriend broke up with me and because I'm not playing a sport anymore. And this dude didn't even have a chance of getting this job, but this little glimmer of hope made his life feel worth it. And that's deep, because that's all of us. We all got problems, and we're all just looking for that little glimmer of hope that makes life feel worth it. While all of our problems may not be the same, what is the same is that we all got problems. But what perspective are we going to look at it from? I was humbled that night in that hotel, man. All my huge problems that I had all of a sudden became small. Let me put it to you this way. Whenever we were younger, our biggest problems used to be spelling tests, remembering our lunch money, and cleaning our room. And those were huge problems at the time. But as you got older, you began to see that those problems weren't problems in the first place, were they? You wish you could have those be your problems now. What's the only thing that changed, guys? Perspective. Our perspective on those problems. I promise you 5 years from now, you're going to look back and understand these problems that you have now were nothing, and that you wish you would have just been enjoying life. Those worries you have now are going to be as big as a second grade spelling test. The moral of this is, sometimes it doesn't hurt to get so low that you can see how high your quote-unquote lows actually were. So guys, just be filled with gratitude through it all. The highs, the lows, everything. Realize that your perspective right now isn't going to be your perspective in 5 years. So just enjoy the now. Work hard right now. Be motivated right now. Don't let this little petty stuff drag you down, man. You guys got this. Your perspective is totally going to change, and you're eventually going to have that glimmer of hope like Lucky did in the hotel that night. We all have problems, and we all have quote-unquote rain, just like Lucky did. But I just want to challenge you guys to look at it from a different perspective and be happy with your life and understand that you can do anything you put your mind to, just as long as you stay level-headed. I'm the coming attraction. Thanks for stopping by.